Hey y'all, thanks so much for joining me today. I'm going to talk just really quick. This is almost like a part 2 to last week. Last week, I put up a video about my secret to exfoliating. I use an epilator, and because I use an epilator, maybe not because, but to me, kind of because, I still really need to exfoliate. I do that in a couple ways. One way is I still shave. It's very infrequent compared to how I would have to shave without using the epilator, but I still shave, and I use Dollar Shave Club. Love it, and I talked about that in last week's video. And I also use a Baiden Mitten, and a Baiden Mitten is like my secret exfoliating weapon. It is incredible. I did want to talk a little bit about the Baiden Mitten because I got a couple questions about it, and one of the questions was, does it work like a regular loofah? And it does not. It's not anything like that at all, and I didn't go into this at all in my previous video. The Baiden Mitten is completely different, and it's expensive. It's expensive for just a little piece of cloth, and so it's important that if you're going to put this money into this piece of cloth that you follow the instructions and you do it the way it says. The place that I bought the Baiden Mitten from has a YouTube video, and I'm going to link that below, that shows you or tells you how to use the Baiden Mitten. It's different than a regular loofah. With the Baiden Mitten, you sit in a tub, a nice warm tub, for about 15 or 20 minutes. You don't use lotions, you don't use soaps, you don't use bath oils, you don't put anything in the bath. I have used just Epsom salts in the bath before, and I did not get the same results. It's really important that it just be pure, clean water, warm water that you're sitting in. Then, once your skin's all nice and soft, you stand up. You rinse the Baiden Mitten and get it wet, wring it out really well, and you start exfoliating. You start rubbing it on your skin. Always read the instructions on this kind of stuff. Be careful. Do not do anything that is too rough. What might work for my skin may not work at all for your skin. So I just take the Baiden Mitten, and I usually start with my arms, and I start there, and it kind of tells you how to do it. The video below is going to tell you, but I didn't want you to spend the $50 on this little piece of cloth. Use it like a normal loofah, like soap it up and start washing and go, what is that crazy girl from Tennessee telling me to do? This isn't working, because it doesn't work like that. Now, having said that, I don't always have time for the 20-minute soak in the bathtub, and if I don't, then I can still use it in the shower. And I just get in the shower, turn the shower on for a minute or two, and nice and warm, and then I turn it off, get the Baiden Mitten nice and wet, wring it out, and I do it that way. I exfoliate that way. It is not as good. You're not going to get the same results, but it's still, even with the shower, the Baiden Mitten, for me, is better than any other exfoliating tool that I have ever used in my life, even that way. So that's been my experience with it. I would love to hear your experience if you have ever used a Baiden Mitten. If you haven't, but you've seen them, why not? The price makes it prohibitive, maybe, because it's very expensive. Now, they last for 2 years, is what the website says. I know I have used mine longer than 2 years at a time. I think I've had 2 now, and I used them probably for about 4 years each. It lasts for a long, long time, and I know $50 is a lot of money for something like that, but the way my skin feels when I get done with this and then moisturize is just literally incredible. So I did want you to know, I didn't want you to think it was going to be like a loofah and you just hop in a bath and wash off with it, and it somehow exfoliates you. It does not work that way. It does take a little bit of time. Last week, I linked to a site that I'm pretty sure is a real Baiden Mitten, but on that site, they are trying to sell you like a whole kit. It has like a back thing and the Baiden Mitten and like a facial Baiden Mitten and also I don't have any of that stuff. If you scroll down on that page, it does link you to just a Baiden Mitten. So it is on there. But I'm going to put up the actual site that I bought the Baiden Mitten from because it didn't look right last week, but I found the site. And I'm also going to put up the video, which is by the same people. So anyway, I just wanted to touch on that. If you guys have any questions about it, please feel free to ask. I will answer anything I can. If you guys have ever used one, I'd love to hear it. If you have a secret exfoliating tool, I would love to hear about that. Also, I wanted to tell you guys, I listened to you and we talked about natural deodorant a couple of weeks ago, and several of you said, I said I was using Schmidt's. This is my favorite, Schmidt's charcoal magnesium. That's my favorite. I also use a doTERRA deodorant. Sometimes I'm going to talk about that when I do this update. But I listened to you guys. Several of you said that y'all use Native. So I haven't even opened it. Native, which I love that, right? And I got their sample pack with several different kinds. So I am going to try the Native deodorant and then see what I think about it, how it works for me compared to Schmidt. So look for that video coming up in a couple weeks. Anyway, if any of this stuff interests you and you guys want to subscribe, please feel free to subscribe, ring the bell, and you'll get notified when I put up this next deodorant video or any of the videos. I would love to hear your questions. I would love to hear your comments. And thank you guys so much for joining me today.